Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Light Council series, an episode series where we are having elevated conversations to awaken the light within and elevate the world. I'm your host, 𝙁🨌🩬🙀, a spiritual mentor and healer, and I am so excited to be here today with my guest. I would love for you to be able to experience her magic. We're going to talk about so many beautiful things. So, hello, I would love for you to introduce yourself, share where you're coming in from, and everything that you do, how you help others, how you love to serve the world.
I love the word magic. So I am Jenifer Colmenares, and I am coming to y'all live from Houston, Texas. And yeah, magic. Isn't that what it's all about? Is
Mm-hmm.
just cultivating those experiences that are truly magical, that keep us in our flow and the rhythm of life and enjoying it to the fullest.
Yeah, yeah. So, Jennifer, I would love for you to share with us, like, what is your specialty, the thing that lights you up through your work that you love to share with others, or how you serve others?
So I am the founder and creator of House of Creation, which is a lifestyling brand. And in that, my passion is to help others to elevate themselves through beauty and confidence and conscious living in the world.
Yeah, I love that. And so, talk to me a little bit about the beauty piece because I don't think that's talked about a lot actually in the spiritual realm, the spiritual industry. So, I would love to hear your take on that and like how you help people with that.
Right? I I love fashion and I feel that it's the way that we get to present ourselves out into the world. For so long, I would say that my look was more of a mask than actually embodying my beauty. Um, so I love to style people. I love to help them find their authentic style. Who are they that they can express themselves out in the world? And it doesn't have to be always high fashion. I'm like, there are tricks and techniques and garments, and there's just this whole gamut of beauty that is out there. I feel like we're coming back from the day of like it being okay to roll out of bed and hang out in your pajamas.
Yeah.
And I love that. I'm so excited for that because it truly is like an embodiment of the elevation that we want to be out in the world. So yeah, beauty is a big aspect because when we look good, then we feel good,
Yeah.
and it
Yeah.
definitely elevates our confidence.
Um, I think that's so powerful. And I totally resonate with everything you're saying with like when you look good, you feel good, right? Like when you in an outfit that like, oh man, like this feels so good, like I feel amazing. You feel like $1 million, like literally, right? And you have so much more confidence to be able to go out and everything like that. And I didn't really even knew that you did that on that level because I am not a fashion person, so I'm always like and I am like I always just like say I don't even know what my style is. I'm still like figuring that out, right? Because I've always just gone towards whatever looks good on my body or like not even or comfort. Like I'm a big comfort person and I'm a big like sensation touch person, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
if like things itch my skin a lot more than maybe the normal person would, right? So I think it's like finding being able to have someone that can show you like this can look good but also be comfortable, right? Like and helping you find that style is such a powerful thing. And I love how you say like it's coming back into, being an important piece of the world, right? And the thing that is really big here is the confidence piece, right? Like how you show up in the world. And we talk about this all the time in the manifestation world, who like you have to become that version of yourself that you want to become like even if it's in your mind, right? First, and then step into that
Right.
version for it actually to show up into your reality. So thinking about it, like maybe that's a technique that you use when you're with clients. Like, how do you see yourself as your future version? So maybe like talk a little bit about your process when you're working with people and you're starting to style them or help them find their style. Like, what does that process look like?
I love this. I mean, it's really about confidence. As you said, like certain things are itchy and you won't wear it. Like you won't wear it if you don't feel good in it. I have
Yeah.
learned that. And
Yeah.
so, beginning with somebody and working with them in that aspect, it's truly like what makes you feel good. We kind of have things that we gravitate towards. Like some people are sweater people, some people are jacket people, some people are, like the three-quarter zip up people. So what is it that feels comfortable for you? And then what do you do? Like who is this future version of yourself? And
Mm-hmm.
so huge in the manifestation world, because it's be, do, and have. And you've got to be this person. So you've got to be able to see yourself as this person. So what is that future vision that you're calling in? What does she do? Does she play tennis? Does she hang out at the country club? Does she like to go thrifting? Like who is that person outside of the career even? And then we bring in the career aspect of, okay, what pieces do you need? What do you have in your closet? How can we make those work? And just bring in key elements that you love. And I'm all about accessories and crystals, like wearing crystals to empower ourselves. And,
Mm-hmm.
they're always in my pocket or on my jewelry. And just elevating our sense of energetic alignment, from the outside in and from the inside out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I love that. I mean, it's so powerful when you become aligned from the inside out and then that outside can reflect it, right? And so
Yes.
I have been someone that even like darker lipstick. When I remember when I was a couple years ago, I was like, "Oh, should I wear this lipstick? It's probably too dark." And my husband said to me, "Be a peacock. Like be a freaking peacock." And that's been like my totem animal ever since. Like literally everything is like what is going to allow me to stand out in a way, and it always doesn't happen when I have the courage to stand out, right? But there's certain times where I'm like, no, I'm gonna be a peacock. And like so, and just a quick story, I was at a an event with my mentor, a business spiritual business event, and one of the themes was, and this relates to style actually in being yourself, one of the themes was into the wild. And they were like, think cheetah print, think like leopard, and like all get really into your wild self. And I'm like looking at all these outfits, and I just don't resonate with leopard or cheetah print. It just never has been my thing. I've never loved it. And no matter how many times I looked at a thing and I tried, I was like, I just wasn't me. And I was like, so I sat and thought for myself, like, what does into the wild mean for me, right? And it was like, can I find a peacock dress somewhere? Like, because that was like, I'm a peacock, right? That's in the wild. So long story short, I found this like caftan on TikTok that was like $10, and it has this beautiful peacock print on it. It's gold, and I wore it and I was like to my husband, like, is this too much? Like to wear, like, it's a caftan. Like, is this too? Oh, I got so many compliments on it. You wouldn't even believe it. I was like, this is the best thing ever. Like I was like, hell yes, I'm gonna rock this thing. It was amazing because I allowed myself to be fully expressed, right? And that's what style is all about. Wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely. I love that. I had goosebumps as you were talking about that because that is another aspect of it is identifying your animal totem. Like you're right, not everybody is a cheetah print or a leopard print,
Yeah.
and there's different aspects of who we want to be and how we want to be. There's our swan, like we want to show up in grace and our elegance, and then we've got our the wolf pack, like
Yeah.
the gray tones and the like feeling the empowerment. So much about, it's kind of our shield, if you will, like our armor out into the world and the way that other people can identify us. I'm always getting people that stop me and they're like, oh, I like your style. Oh, I love your style. And it's just because I feel like I have fun with it. Like I
Yeah.
have fun with it and it bubbles out in that way. Like literally, I could just be wearing something all black and then, well, I've got my hot pink combat boots on today. They're sparkly pink. So
I love it. I probably would never wear them, but like, I love it.
that's the fun of experimenting and having somebody to experiment with, because
Mhm.
so often, we're going through this. Like we've just gone through a tragedy or a trauma or whatever it is. Like we're shifting, we're changing, and we're elevating timelines, and that old you isn't coming with you, so let's
Mhm.
elevate her up as
Yeah.
well. You start to not feel comfortable in those old garments. Either they've got memories attached to them, or they're just not you because you've elevated out of it. That was kind of like the plain version of you when you had to fit in because somebody was hijacking your identity, right? You were
Mhm.
in that narcissistic relationship, so you learn to gray rock and you learn to stay small. Well, now you get to come out of the closet and shine and show up fully as yourself and authentically in what makes you feel good. And that's not always easy because we have so many voices that are in our head, like, oh, that's too tight, or, like a mom voice, like, oh, you can't wear that, that shows too much, or just all these voices that are telling you what is right and what is wrong. And it's about style and it's about self-expression and how you
Mhm.
show up in your full authenticity. Like, I'm sure you probably had so much fun that night wearing your peacock because you were like,
Oh yeah.
and you got tons of compliments and like your energy was just over the top.
For sure. And it was so comfortable. And then like, and for $10, like how can you beat that? Right. I was like, this is crazy. Like this is $10 thing. And I'm like, it's like my favorite piece, right? I actually was just thinking about this piece, I think yesterday, and I was like, and that's a whole nother limiting thing, right? It's like, where am I going to be able to wear that ever again? And I was like, can I just even wear it on one of these episodes? You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's like, why not? Like, why not? Why can't I wear that any day of the week that I want to? Right? Like, it's so
Yep.
interesting, these patterns and programs that we have. And so maybe next time you'll in another episode you'll see me rocking it. But I know this
I
is
love it.
totally not even what we were planning on talking about, but I love this so much because this is exactly maybe what some people need to hear today, and that's perfectly beautiful and wonderful. But I want to keep going on this topic. Like, so when you if someone, is in that beginning stages and they're not quite ready to like hire a stylist, such as some or help them, like what are the first like what is something that they can just do to start playing, start exploring, and start trying to figure out what actually their style is?
I like there's so many places, that you can go to that will allow you that experience, so just don't be scared. Like go to someplace like, Talbot's or Black and White Market. Like just go in and just tell them there to play. Like you're expanding, let them pamper you,
Yeah.
and let them bring clothes to you, because there is an element of design in
Mm-hmm.
it, like to know your color palette, and so that you're not clashing, you're not being washed out. Like you might love that blouse, but girl, no, like it makes you look like you're sick.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
not everybody can pull everything off. And they're professionals in there, like go to some place that's elevated. Chico's is another good one. I love going in there with my girlfriends and just watching what they pull together and just having an experience. Make it fun and
Yeah.
try the stuff on. Like, even because you don't like it on the hanger does not mean that you're not going to love it on. Like you still have to experiment and try new things and step out of that comfort zone and listen to somebody else's opinions, and advice, and let them share with you how beautiful you look and
Mm.
receive that.
Receive. I think that's a huge part of for a lot of people that may be hard and difficult, right? Is to receive the compliments or even receive the feedback, right? Or just even just taking believing when someone else says it, this, oh, you look amazing. And then how often do we say, oh, that's so nice of you, or like we kind of like discount people's compliments, right, in some way, where we're like, oh, this thing, it's like 10 years old, and it's whatever, instead of just saying thank you, like, oh, thank you so much. You're like almost discrediting what they're saying and not even realizing that's actually not even like self-sabotaging your own confidence, but then their confidence, right, like for being able to share and be nice. So it's almost like receiving a compliment or a gift or anything, right, it's also like an act of kindness to that other person giving the compliment. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And that's so true. Like we often downplay, oh, this is so old, or oh my gosh, like I got this for like $10.
What I just said. Exactly, yeah. Right.
But knowing, I mean, just owning it, like fully being there and in your beauty, and in your authenticity, not brushing it off, not pushing it aside, but
Yeah.
receiving it and knowing like that's your light, like that's your light that you're shining out, and they've gravitated to you to tell you that you look beautiful and that they love their outfit. And it may be because you're meant to have a conversation with them. It may be because your frequency is meant to interact with their frequency and elevate or code a missing piece just in that little
Yeah.
interaction and conversation. Like there's so much magic that happens that we're discounting, that we don't allow the full gamut of it to play out.
Yeah, and this makes even more brings up another point. Speaking of light, like when you're fully expressing yourself, maybe through your style, right? You're not hiding the pieces, all of you, right? Like you're allowing all pieces of you to be seen through your expression of your style. You're actually allowing your light to shine brighter, your inner light, because you're showing up with that confidence. You're more inclined to talk to people. You're more inclined to go up to random people if you're like at a networking event, right? Per se, um, you know, wearing something that allows you to stand out. So you're having that magnetism being pulled towards you of those people that you're meant to talk to, right? So I would love for you to talk like, when you were working with people, do you ever come across, I'm sure you do, or like maybe you share like how you help people through those limiting beliefs, those, self-conscious thoughts that come up when people are trying to find their style or start to, kind of express themselves in a bigger way.
So I actually have a lifestyling system,
Uh-huh.
which is called the creation codes. So I walk them through this creation experience, and it does. So much of it starts inward, of journaling and the prompts and the conversation back and forth to really unpack what is their view of themselves? What lens are they seeing themselves through? And then, you know, through coaching and meditations and activations, like we can work on those subconscious beliefs so that you are more in alignment with your authentic self.
Mm-hmm.
and knowing, through the creation experience, we develop what is your vision of yourself? Like, what is your 3 year vision of yourself? What's your 5 year vision of yourself? What's your 10 year vision of yourself?
Mm-hmm.
And then we reverse engineer so that we're pulling her or him into today. Okay, you don't have to wait 10 years to be that version of you. Like, we can step into that timeline now.
Yeah.
What small steps can we take that you're comfortable with and that you're not so comfortable with, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
I'm here to challenge you and I'm here to push you and to nudge you in a nurturing way to see you in a different light than probably most of the people in your life have ever allowed you to be, right?
Yeah.
Especially, leaving situations where I like to say that our identity has been hijacked, you
Mm-hmm.
know, um, in those challenging, either it's a career that you left and you had to fit into the box there because somebody made comments about your outfit and your light and your personality, or if it's a marriage that is dissolving, you
Mm-hmm.
know, or family. Like, there's just so many little aspects of these conversations that play in your head when you are wanting to take it to the next level.
Yeah.
So I love that part of it because it's so much more than just the fashion and the clothes. Like, it really is about discovering your authenticity at your core and
Mm-hmm.
uncovering that in a fun way, because that is it's got to be fun. Like, we're not going to do it. Most of us are witchy and ritualistic, and we don't like to do things just because somebody told us to.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think about the fun piece because, I mean, even though like I ended up loving the outfits I ended up with for that event, like I had multiple like themes and outfits, it took me like a month in multiple orders, right? And from multiple places of trying to find the perfect outfit. And it was sometimes really stressful. Like I would be on the computer for like hours searching for what I felt like was the right piece, right? Like for the thing
Yeah.
I actually wanted. I'm like, oh, like I don't love this. This sucks, but I want to be able to feel good, right? I didn't want to just pull, for me personally, I didn't want to just pull something from my closet. I wanted to find something that actually was, like you said, this next level version of myself and show up as that person. Because I knew after this event, I would be a different version of myself. And so I wanted to step into that, right? And
Yes.
go with that so that I was actually playing full out. And even like for this simple retreat I went to, I wanted to be able to, we were, there's a photographer there. I wanted to be, in outfits that really allowed me to feel confident in these photos and everything. So I think there's such a big piece and part of all of this in the inner confidence of us showing up as this next level version of ourselves, right? There was something that I was gonna say. Oh, so thinking about like seeing yourself, and I love that you use meditation to allow people to see the next version of themselves. I do it often with my clients too, right? Like we're seeing that version and stepping into it and I'm activating them. And there was a time where I was like really blonde. I had tons of blonde highlights, had for years, and I was starting to like have this pull, like, should I change my hair back to brunette? Obviously my natural color. And I was doing a plant medicine journey, a plant medicine day with my husband, and I remember being there when we were in our meditation, and I saw myself as brunette, like full out phoenix brunette, and I was like, okay, it's time to go back. It's time to go back to my true authentic self. And I remember going to my hairstylist and telling her, and she was like, "Are you sure?" Because I don't know if you've ever been blonde, but like, and especially with long hair, it takes a long time to get as blonde as I was, right? Like when you're this dark, it takes like a year to get to the blonde I was at least. And she was like, "Are you sure? Are you sure? Like there's no going back." And she asked me like 3 times, and I finally was like, "It's a spiritual thing." And she was like, "Okay, enough said. No, I got you. Like I get it. Like so she was like, okay, I understand now. Like you know what I mean? Like I was like,
I
trust
love
me.
it. I love it. I love it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I get that. My daughter is a stylist. So, yep, I get that. And I have never been blonde. I actually, so I at a girls' retreat, I was given the nickname Token Brunette
Mm,
because everybody everybody's blonde and I'm a token brunette that's like I'm the one that's like taking care of everybody, right? Like there's multiple layers to the token brunette there. But
yeah,
yeah, like and
yeah.
it is a spiritual thing, you know? It's not about status and whatnot. Like it truly is about embodying the best version of yourself. And I say I love luxury because, well, there's a couple of reasons. There's one, there's a lot of thought put into what that designer has created.
Mm,
It's not just that it was duplicated from somebody else or that it was duped from somebody else. So I love designer in that aspect. Like there's a lot of intention that goes into the creation of that. And then the process, like the creation process of those brands. Like there aren't as many people that are touching it. The materials are often elevated quality. So we're being conscious about Mama Earth and about
yeah.
consumerism. Um, so there's like a whole spiritual aspect to it all as well.
Yeah. So, I mean, and that's beautiful, right? Like, I totally get what you're saying and resonate with your saying, but playing devil's advocate here, like, what about the people that can't really, don't have the ability to acquire designer, things often, or maybe they can get one really solid piece that they love and that elevates their energy, right? Even if it's like an accessory, right? Like a pair of earrings or a necklace, maybe, right? Would you say is like, what else would you recommend in those cases where like they want to be considerate of Mother Earth, right? And how things are produced and the quality that they are, but is obviously have limitations in the funds that they can, spend and on those designer things, right?
Right, right. I am a great upcycler. I love Goodwill and upcycling places like that.
Like
I'd
thrift, like
say
is it thrift up or
I
something?
love to thrift.
I got one of my
I
jumpsuits
love to
for an
thrift.
event I went to. It was a rose gold sequin jumpsuit, and it was I forgot what brand it was, but it was a higher level brand, and I think I paid under like $40 for it.
Nice, nice.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So
so I love to upcycle like that and to give it new life, like it
mhm.
just doesn't go by the wayside. Like it probably had an amazing life before you got it, and then you get
Totally.
it and you get to share in that and being a peacock in it. It sounds like an amazing outfit.
It was, yeah. No, but I love that tip. That's beautiful. Like, don't be afraid of taking advantage of those secondhand resources
Absolutely.
that it
And I
just
say, if it speaks to you, get it. Like, if
yeah.
you're like hemming and hawing and you're like, oh, I really love it, but like the number on the price tag, man, you're gonna wish that you would have gotten it. So just get it because you're gonna love it that much and you're going to wear it.
Yeah, yeah, and you're going to utilize it. And I think that's the energy behind it, right? Is something you really love and knowing that it's going to come back to you when you have that. Like the money will come back to you when you have it. When you're not buying something just to buy it, right? Or just because of the
Absolutely.
name or the designer, right? But also I think it's important to take away that stigma of using secondhand things and websites and stuff like that. But because like we're talking about the manifestation, world and how like okay would your higher self buy this thing at this level, like with all your goals achieved, let's say if money was your goal, right? Like if all your goals achieved, you're doing well, you're successful, would they buy secondhand? But also, if you are someone that's conscious of recycling, reusing Mother Earth, and things just not going into the landfill and being the waste, it's almost like and, right? Like it could be both and. It doesn't have to be one or the
Oh,
other.
absolutely. I'm like, yeah, I'm like, Chanel doesn't make a 1980s Chanel bag in 2025. So
Yeah.
I mean, that's the beautiful thing about it is that there's that vintage aspect to it. That's beautiful.
Yeah, yeah. Amazing. Oh my gosh. I have loved this conversation. Because it's such like it's so
Oh,
funny
me
because it's
too.
like we were literally just saying, what are we gonna talk about today? And it was not this, but this has been so perfect. So I would love to
I
ask
love
if you
it.
have like any like one last piece of wisdom or tip or share or just advice you would love to share with the audience. I would love to invite you to do that.
I just going back to the creation experience is sitting in who you are in 3 years and 5 years and 10 years. You know, so often we've come out of situations that have hijacked our authenticity and our dreams.
Mm-hmm.
So to really sit and just and journal, you know, free write, like what do I want for 3 years? What do I want for 5 years? What do I want for 10 years? Where am I? Where is my career? Where is my family? So that you have a vision because you got to have a vision in order to be able to reverse engineer anything and pull it in to step into.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah, you have to be able to see where you want to go and have to be order to have that direction, right? So I love that tip
Absolutely.
about like journaling or maybe do a meditation or visualizing, which I know you do with your clients when you first start with
Yes.
them, right?
Yes.
So in speaking which, I would love for you to share how people can work with you and how they can get in contact with you if they feel pulled to.
I love it. So all of my handles are Edgy Entrepreneur TV. So you can find me on YouTube and Instagram and TikTok and Facebook. I believe Facebook is Jenifer Colmenares, and that's Jennifer with one N, and then
Okay.
my last name, Colmenares. And yeah, like, join the conversation. You know, I'm having fun being flirty with some frequencies and getting into I'm doing some collaborations with some local boutiques here. So I'm going to go in and play in their clothes just to bring more awareness to style and to fashion and to the fun of being authentically you and shining from that perspective from that place inside of you that is just begging to get out.
Yes, yes, amazing. Oh, this has been such a fun, like uplifting conversation. And I know something that I've benefited from already and will probably in the future. So, thank you so much for being here today, Jennifer. And I will share all of her links in the description below, whether you're on YouTube or Facebook. Feel free to reach out to her, follow her, you know, even probably to get inspo on like styling things, like
I do.
definitely.
I want to add too, I do have a couple of Facebook communities for those that are getting out of like narcissistic dysfunction and trauma. And the women's group is from Gaslight. It's Gaslight to Godlit. And
Yeah.
the men's group is Men Over Myth.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah.
So
So you work with
yes,
both men and
yes,
women. I know that. So that's
yes.
so beautiful. And maybe just really quickly, if first if we do have men listening or maybe, you know, partners, what is the men to myth? What is that group kind of for like and help with?
That is my calling to bring men together in community, to have honest conversations about how they've been raised, the stories that they have been told, and the paradigms that are shifting for them. Not a lot of safe spaces out there For them, one, to witness the divine feminine in her wholeness. And then two, for that camaraderie, just not to be judged and to talk about the spirituality and emotional intelligence and people pleasing and, what the expectations are that they were raised with and breaking those paradigms. So
Very,
we talk about conversations that have broken men and bring them back together.
very
And
cool. I love
I love a good suit. My grandfather was a tailor, so I love a
me,
good suit. Yes, I love a good
me
tie.
too. Do you ever watch oh God, what is it called? The Steve Harvey Family Feud?
Oh, I've seen it, and yes, every now and then, and I'm always like, oh, I like that.
I know, like every day he has a new suit, and like we don't watch it that much anymore. But we were with our kids for a little while, and every day we're like, "I like that suit. How about that suit?" We're like, "Oh my God, look at that suit! Like I wish I could pull something off like that, you know." Like my husband will say that, you know. But yeah, it's so good. So,
I
oh
love it. I love
yes.
it.
All right. Well, thank you so much again for being here today. And of course, everyone reach out to her in the links below, and we will see you next time on the Light Council series.